Alright, I got the wheel back. The little wheel, like, it lets me flip between myself and what's in front of me. But it disappeared for a couple of days. These aren't problems that matter to you, but, you know, they do. They do make things difficult. But I just left, I left the inside along, so when I went in there, my friend was in there who is into the same stuff I do, knows a lot about the same stuff. We can have conversations. One of my only probably friends, like in-person friends on the island, you know. I got a lot of acquaintances, like people I know I'll say hi to, I'll talk to and have a little conversation, but she's more like someone I can have we can talk about real issues with. And when I walked in there, she's like, what the fuck's up with the submarine? And she was kind of on the same thing. It's like, I know it's a distraction, but there's some other like occult shit in there because, and then she brought up the Simpsons thing, and then she brought up the Titanic. Just what I did right before when I was talking about it earlier. I brought up the same thing. She brought up the same thing. So I'm like, I think it's messages. These people have to send each other messages that way. I don't know. I kind of don't care to be involved in their gay shit anymore. Like maybe even 5 years ago, I'd be like, I wonder what this means. And I'd be going through stuff. I'd have several books out with, you know, saving pages and dragging the string from one thing to I just don't care anymore. Like when it comes to that, you know, I think this really happened full time for me when Duran played that Birmingham show. And they had the big, she always have a problem where people don't want to stop in, whatever. But I'm not going to end up like I did yesterday, spiraling into madness and screaming at cars. But when they played that thing, they had the big bull. And I know it symbolized child sacrifice and all this other stuff. I just looked at it and I kind of, you know, I knew there was something up. I could probably comb through it and put together all the symbolism, but who gives a shit? Like really, it's not important at this point in time. It's desperation. They don't have any control. Like they do these things, right? Like these psyops, these spooky psyops, and people are like, oh, but this is that, and that means that. Like it gives them the illusion that they have control of the plot when they don't. They're not in control. They're dying. They're losing the power. The veil is disintegrating. You know, even normies are seeing stuff. You know, they can see it, but they never make sense of what it means. If you try to explain to them, they tell you, they try to attack you viciously, like physically, because a lot of them are full of demons at this point. That's the thing too, like the normie sort of robot people, like the NPCs, they don't have souls, right? So there's a lot of empty space in there. So entities can go in there and control them, and that's why a lot of times when you try to explain to someone that we're not going to colonize Mars because Mars doesn't exist, they punch you in the face, like what happened to me, you know. Yeah, because they have all that empty space in their antenna, in their suit, you know, because they're not connected to God. There's no divinity there, so they just become a taxi cab for demons. You know, just because some of these people don't have active entities in them, like we've seen here before, doesn't mean they're not a danger to you. You know, a couple of years ago, when what happened, it made me realize that shit, everyone around me is a danger to me, because they would call the fucking Gestapo to have me dragged away if I didn't do what the TV said. You know what I mean? That's not because they're stupid normies. It's because they're literally soulless, empty bodies that are just doing the bidding of the operating system. On top of that, some of these things have demonic entities in them. You know, whereas one person will be like, you try to explain something to them, whatever it is, you know, how It doesn't matter. Any of the things. Try to explain many of the things. But, you know, the shape of the earth, how water doesn't stick to a ball, whatever. However, whatever you want to say. That they'll get, like, they won't understand, okay? That's your regular, everyday NPC fucking person robot. Then you get the ones that get violent and angry with you, defending what appears to be the government. You think, well, why is people so, like, bent, and they'll get, like, demonic about it, especially when you get into the area that the beast cares the most about. Like, you ever see these pro-choice kind of protesters, how, like, they get crazy violent, like they're gonna attack somebody, because they have demonic entities inside them, and that's what it is. And then you'll have other people that are just retarded straight up. They're just empty. But the thing is, that's the majority of people around you and around me right now. It's all right. They don't care. They can't hear. They have no idea what I'm saying. I could be right next to them. If I spoke at one constant volume, at one constant rhythm, at one constant pitch, right into their ear, they still won't hear. 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 Yeah, so anyway, pulling out of, what is that? A Small Victory, Faith No More. I knew it was Faith No More, but I was trying to figure out what song it was. It's Angel Dust. It's a fucking great album. But yeah, they're just not going to get it. Now there's another group of people that are going to they're going to werewolf on you, you know? They're going to get all werewolf and try to attack you. I've had it happen, you know? The moral of the story with that is just don't try to explain anything to them. Just figure out who's a like-minded person, like kind of what we've done here and what some of us have done online. We just kind of commiserate with people that actually know what's up. And like I've said so many times, you really can't go try to reach across the pond here, or the aisle, or give the olive however you want, the olive branch across the aisle, because it's too late for them. You know, it's not even too late for them. There was never time for them, because they're not capable of crossing over. Not capable of coming over, because they're either an empty shell or they're a demon-infested empty shell. And that's the majority of fucking what's walking around out here. You know? In my opinion, you know? From what I've observed. And it's, he's in the car, probably wants to hit me, he's gonna get all mad that I'm walking in front of him. No, actually not this time. Yeah, that was yesterday here. I go through here and this guy waits for all these other people to walk. Then I go to walk and he's like, no, hey, not you. I get that a lot. But like, you know, I should just like laugh it off and walk away, but I get so indignant because I'm like, the fucking arrogance of this fucking stranger, this cunt. You know, it's like, oh, gets me so angry. But anyway, yeah, I mean, not to alarm you, but most people around you are a danger to you all the time. For real. I mean, that's what it is. You just have to be aware of them. They're not hard to outthink. That's the thing. They're fucking retarded. You can get it. You can easily navigate them. They'll try to annoy you, you know, and that's where I get caught. Because, like, for no reason, some stranger will do something really retarded to me, like just, or, you know, get in my face or something. And I know, like, inside I'm going, just keep moving, don't ignore. And sometimes I can. I got a pretty good ignore switch. But sometimes I just get offended by it. Like, I don't know you. You don't know me. I'm walking down the street. What the fuck do you, where do you go? You know what I mean? But I can't let that happen. Because I know it's an empty body with the fucking pissed off demon in it that doesn't like me because I go looking for them. Yeah, I haven't seen any since that day, though. I never saw that woman again. Well, you know, in a place with a population of so many people, it's kind of, you know, it's not likely I'd run into her again. Although it's funny you say that, but then people, sometimes you try to avoid people and you'll see them every day. Or whatever. You know, I don't have any people that I try to avoid. I got a very small list. But not like for trouble purposes, like I got heat with anybody. I don't have heat with anybody. If I think I do, I go and try to solve it immediately, however it ends, or however we have to end it. I don't like walking around thinking, you know, that people aren't very confrontational here, and I'm not very confrontational either, but people will let stuff go and just not say anything, and then they'll call the cops on each other. It's fucking weird. I've never been in a city like this before. And it could be because it's not an indictment on Hawaii or the people that are from or generational islanders. This is a mishmash of all kinds of people. Tourists and people that, for whatever reason, had to get off the mainland because they were in some kind of trouble. Well, that's what it feels like. Like they made their community so sick of them, wherever they were from, that they had to hightail it here. So we kind of get the worst of the worst of when it comes to creeps and freaks and weirdos. I mean, it's never really anybody that grew up here, like an islander. It's always someone from like Philly that moved here like 12 years ago or something, or even 20. It doesn't matter when they moved here. They moved here because they burned every bridge back on the mainland. It would be better for them to leave the country, but they're too shady to pull a what do you call this thing? Passport together. Passport. I just had my finger on this. It's going to be one of those things where I got Dave Banian jumping out from the side telling me to get my finger off the lens, because I feel like it is. Sorry, Dave. Or Peter. I reviewed your thing, Pete. Moon Man. I don't know if I posted it yet. I'm going to put it on the music channel in here. Yeah, I don't know. It's raining out now, so I'm bearing a hasty retreat. I'm going to go in. I think I have like fucking 5 videos I got to try to edit. That's not your problem. Why am I telling you this? You don't care. That's not your fucking problem. It's not even a problem either. I enjoy it. It's fun. I probably like editing the most. Because I mean, this isn't really, I just walk and talk. There's not a lot of effort here. The effort is avoiding people. Nosy people, you know. But getting home and getting, seeing what crap I've got, and then try to make a diamond out of the coal. That's kind of the fun part. So I'll probably do that for the rest of the day. But if I do get out tonight, I'll try to get some footage, see what's going on. I'll get some footage for sure. Whether it's any good, I'm going to leave that up to you to decide. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.